Hey everybody, John Granato and Lance Zierlein from the bench. Mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. If you can, please hit subscribe right now so that you get all our content here at SportsMap HOU. Hey, Lance, this week a shakeup, another one in the Texans front office. Director of Pro Personnel, Rob Kissel, had decided he was going to go. It's not really a surprise this time of year, right after the draft, right? A lot of pro personnel guys, a lot of draft scouts, a lot of people that are involved with the draft make moves right now. No?
Yeah, contracts are up, and a lot of times it ends immediately after the draft. Contracts are either renewed or you let the contract run out, and not unusual. This isn't a guy who was brought in by Nick Caserio. Nick probably has someone that he wants for this position or wants to elevate someone. So not a big surprise. I don't really read too much into this. It's something that is going to happen, and frankly will probably happen more with the scouting staff. There will be more Nick Caserio guys coming in at some point here this year.
Well, Ronnie McGill did come in. Caserio, he's a former Patriots guy, and they're trying to say that they're not Patriots South, but if they keep hiring Patriots people, are they not Patriots South?
Well, it's Caserio South. It's not unusual for people to hire other people they trust and they know. And Nick Caserio's been in one place for 20 years. So it stands to reason. Look, they can say what they want, but you're going to have a bunch of Patriots and former Patriots guys here. Now, what does that mean for the Texans? Well, on the positive side, the Texans, the Patriots have won a lot of games over the last 20 years. A lot of games, and they've been typically known as a team that has a good process, that their process for building teams has generally been good. I think the thing that starts to concern you, John, is if you look at 20 years, that's great. If you look at 5 years and you look at 2 years, it becomes more troubling because it's really the drafts have not been great for the Patriots over the last 5 or 6 years. They typically will draft guys and cut them just after a couple of years. You love the fact that they get away from those kinds of picks, but at the same time, Tom Brady allowed them to do things like that. The general football team cannot afford to miss that badly on second and third round picks and first round picks. You just can't afford to draft and then cut and be done and they're no good. Next up. That sounds great in theory, but if you don't have a Tom Brady sitting here covering up some of those mistakes, it's a lot tougher to actually build a team that can win.
It's funny. Bill O'Brien, Jack Easterby, it was so who's doing what? What is your job? It seems like a lot of the Patriots front office, we don't know what the hierarchy was because it was we know it was Belichick, but then who's next and everything else? It seems like there's a lot of that murkiness going on still with the Texans organization.
Yeah, it seems like it does. As a matter of fact, I would tell you that it's now become even more, I don't think it's murky in terms of who's doing what. I think it's all Nick Caserio now. That's his, I trust that Nick Caserio and his group are making the football decisions. The problem now is Bill O'Brien would actually tell you things about players or situations. Sometimes he'd be curt, sometimes he'd be happy. You never knew which version you were going to get. Sometimes you'd have to read between the lines, but you would always get a sense of what was going on with Bill O'Brien, even when he didn't fully answer. Nick Caserio basically is in complete, he's in a bunker. You're not going to get an answer really on anything up to this point. Now, Bill O'Brien was similar to the way he answered everything. Remember all the rookies had to say, reading the playbook, Texans way.
Being a good teammate.
Remember how they used to have to talk, and then it kind of got loosened up after the first 2 or 3 years? Maybe Nick Caserio will loosen up and actually answer an actual question for people ever. But right now, it doesn't feel like there's a light at the end of that tunnel.
No. And boy, their off seasons, I don't know if you want to call them similar. The Patriots brought in a lot of big-name free agents, spent a bunch of money. The Texans have turned over their roster with a bunch of free agents, both drafted a quarterback with their first pick. It's the Patriots South. It's the same damn organization.
Are the rings coming? Is Davis Mills the new Tom Brady? Tom Brady was a 6th rounder no one saw coming. Maybe this is the beginning. Maybe Davis Mills is the new Tom Brady.
Maybe a late draft pick for a quarterback that turns out to be a great pick. A big, tall, white guy?
Then are you complaining about the Patriots way? Then are you complaining?
No, then I'll be fine with the Patriots.
Right,
is David Culley Bill Belichick? Yes, I think so.
We don't know yet, but maybe. I mean, right now, signs are pointing in that direction. Yes.
Bo Culley. Bo Belichick.
No, not
yes.
Bo.
Bo.
He's not Bo Porter. He's David Culley.